What's happening, person? Let's see if anybody else filters into the room. We're starting early today. We're starting early on the Lucha Breakfast Show. I got some stuff to do this afternoon. But we are here. If anybody cares to join us, you are more than welcome. The link is pinned at the top of the chat for anybody who might want to consider jumping on a panel. If you've never jumped on a panel before, it's a good time. Mathis! Let's go! Logan Hall is indeed still sleeping. Good chance. On the screen, we went with a simple breakfast today. Just some avocado toast, some bacon, and a poached egg. A little everything seasoning, little chives. Delicious. Delicious. I'll have something more exciting for you tomorrow. I bought some stuff, but I didn't have time to make it. I need to make the sauce this evening for tomorrow's breakfast. It's a little bit time consuming. Unlike our friend Moses, I will be using tomatillas in my green sauce. Yeah, what are you going to do? But you're here with the Lucha, all 5 of you. Please hit the upvote button. We do appreciate that. That is one of those ways that we know that you guys appreciate what's going on. But breakfast was delicious. You guys know I hate poaching eggs. I'm not the world's best egg poacher. That one didn't come out too bad, though. It's just, it's a style of cooking that's not really my thing. But, hey, we'll do it. We will do it. Little housekeeping here. Let's see. What else we had going on? Oh, we made chicken soup yesterday. Yeah, we made chicken soup and a 3-cheese grilled cheese. It was the chicken and rice soup. I still have a lot of that left, so I'll be eating that for the lunches the rest of the week, I think. And the grilled cheese was just Italian bread. It was Parmesan, cheddar, and what was the other cheese? I can't remember. It was a white cheese. Havarti, maybe. Delicious. Melted up. Just melt. Look at that melt. Perfect toast on the bread. Perfect melt of the cheese. Bacon add a little bit of flavor to that sucker. Hard to beat. It is indeed hard to beat a good grilled cheese. And the soup, fucking delicious. The soup was delicious. Delectable. Boiled down a chicken. Just let that go. I don't like big chunk. I like that kind of shredded chicken you get when you just let that thing boil and boil and boil, and then you pull all the meat off the bone. You just kind of shred it off there. It's so good. Yeah, it makes its own broth. I throw some carrots and celery and onion and what else did I put in there when I was boiling that down? Cloves, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, salt and pepper, and just let it go. Strain it out, shred that chicken, and you have added some more carrots and celery, and some seasonings and some herbs, and you end up with an amazing, delicious chicken and rice soup. Good morning, Logan Hall's Grill Streams. Waiting for good show with you last night. Nice to be on the panel with you. Absolutely. Again, all that cooking in front of the camera, I'm just showing you the end product. I'm not down for that kind of abuse. What else we got going on here today? Oh, we did do this Sunday night. I went to Mass. Went to the evening Mass on Sunday. And we dunked the cursed watch. Buckley says this watch is cursed. I should sell it. I don't know if I'm going to hell for this or not, but I went a little bit early so I could. Nobody was around watching, and I dunked the watch into the holy water font. So everybody gave them. Everyone who got a little holy water got a little my watch. What if I just ended up cursing everyone? I don't know. So we were talking about it on the show. Doc Mick in Florida said, "Dunk it." So I said, "Do I just like dribble a little holy water on it?" And Doc Mick was like, "Dunk that sucker." So it got dunked. So there you have that. So that happened. What do you think? Do you think the curse is removed, or should I sell the watch? I'm wearing the watch. The cursed watch, as Buckley would say. Big old chunky monkey. It's a cool watch. It is a cool watch. There's times I go back and forth on whether I like this or the Aquaterra more. You guys know what a big fan of the Aquaterra I am. So, that being said, I don't know. Anything else going on? Back to breakfast. Let's go back up to today's breakfast, the avocado toast with the poached egg and a couple slices of bacon. Waste not, want not. So a little bacon left. My secret to bacon is my air fryer. I just put that on the sheet pan that fits in the air fryer. I have a convection air fryer. Stick that in there and just kind of let it go. I turn it on and just keep a watch on it till it gets to a color I like. I don't like it to be too crispy. I don't like it to be too floppy. I just like it to be perfect. Perfect. Who doesn't love bacon? I mean, bacon is a great food. Poached eggs really go with the avocado toast. So I did it. I poached the egg. We'll have a more exciting looking breakfast for you tomorrow on the Instagram. If you don't follow me on the Instagram, it is _LuchaBedic_Mark on Instagram. I'm sure if you type in LuchaBedic Mark, there's not a lot of LuchaBedics that come up. So you're probably bound to find me. But when you're on there, that's where you'll find watch pictures, dog pictures, food pictures, life pictures. So I came across this watch kind of by accident yesterday. I wasn't really looking for this watch. And it was really intriguing to me. It's something that's not in production anymore. So I had to dig to find some reason. It just was something that caught my eye. So I had to dig to find some info on the dang thing. And I did. I found an article from a blog to watch about the watch. We share that with you. This is a Zodiac, and it's something called a Jet-O-Matic. It's kind of a pilot's watch, field watch. It's kind of got a field watch dial, pilot's watch crown. They call it the Jet-O-Matic, so I imagine they imagine this as a pilot's watch more than anything else, but I thought it was really kind of cool looking. So here's the watch. Resurrected from the Zodiac archives, the Jet-O-Matic introduces a new collection of pilot-style watches and was one of the most important releases this year for the fossil-owned Swiss brand. It's competitively priced, and its movement has an unusual feature in something called a swan neck regulator. But we'll come back to that. Straightforward tool watch. The Jet-O-Matic does say Jet-O-Matic's a weird name. If I had a criticism, I had two criticisms of the watch. It's the 430 date and the name Jet-O-Matic. But really kind of a cool watch. Onion crown, nice bracelet, exhibition case back. They decorated it up a little bit. I'm sure that's some sort of Solita in there. The bracelet's solid looking. Any brand that can see both dive and pilot watches in a good place. I don't know. Sign crown. It's kind of cool looking. I've never seen one of these before. It's kind of neat when you find something you haven't seen before. This article is from 2017. This watch is not in the current catalog. And like I said, I just sort of happened upon it by accident. It was like, hey, that's kind of a neat looking piece. Jetomatic is the rebirth of a vintage model, even though many past watches that shared that name or Jetomatic look nothing like this 2017 Jetomatic. Wonder what they look like, because that one looks kind of cool. I don't know if that has that flex on the clasp like the Super Seawolf does. This being an older watch and something I've never actually seen before. I don't know. Let's see. It is COSC certified for $14.95 when it was new. Alongside standard production, gentlemen, more modern updates. I think it's also released. That's reverse engineered chronometer. Okay, so you can get it either way. So you can do the chronometer version, looks like on the leather strap, or the regular automatic on the bracelet. Because I don't see the COSC version with that. It's got cool loom. That's interesting piece. Good morning. Muhammad Ali is on the train into town. Have a good trip. Be safe. Enjoy your day. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, everyone, to hit that upvote button. We got a whole 7 people watching on this early morning stream. We have 8 upvotes. That means one person has failed to upvote because 2 of those upvotes are me. What are you going to do? So, let's see. Good look on the wrist versus, I think it was a 42 millimeter if I saw correctly where I originally saw the watch. I said the exhibition case back skull. STP 313 movement in the Zodiac. On the other hand, goes a long way in adding to the interest as a complete package. For a basic movement in a watch at this price level, it looks pretty good through the display case back. Kind of like an ETA 2824. Let's see. What else we got on here? It's a 2-page article. Oh, it does have a blued swan neck regulator. It's kind of cool. Runs at 4 hertz, 44 hours of power reserve. Blued swan neck regulator. Pretty cool. Swan neck regulators obviously get their name from their arcing shape and are a common feature in many high-end German, though not exclusively, watch movements. What is less obvious is what they are for, how they work, and what the big deal is. So perform during services to correct a rate deviation, slowing it down if it's found to be running fast. Sometimes it's done, for example, via weights in the form of small screws in the balance wheel, but the most common way is to adjust the length of a hairspring by very small amounts. You see small screws used to regulate it. Okay, cool. Pretty slick. I thought overall it was a pretty neat, pretty nice package for this watch. Whether it was the I didn't even know about the COSC certified one until I jumped into this article, but they have another picture of that one. Oh, here. Here's the big double picture. So the one on the left, let's see, has a white rehaut instead of that kind of faux, that cream white. The numbers look a little bit brighter. It is a chronometer certified Jetomatic. I don't know if the bracelet fits that or not. Oh, no, it's a 40 millimeter on the left and a 42 on the right. Interesting. Not no, the disc on the date wheel is white versus black, which makes the odd placement and circular nature of said disc more obvious. Not crazy about that. Yeah, I think I like the 42 better. All things being equal. What about you guys? Anybody ever seen that watch before? The Zodiac Jetomatic? It's actually kind of cool. I bet you could probably pick one of those up under $1,000 on the pre-owned market. Have yourself a pretty kind of interesting watch that no one else has even probably heard of. Lord knows I've barely heard of it. I like it. I think it's kind of cool. It's got good, like I said, it's got really good lume. And it really kind of crosses that field watch, pilot watch line. It's got that pilot watch crown. 12369 reminds me much more of a field watch. It's got good size at 42. Like I said, great lume, great bracelet. Exhibition case back. Interesting blued swan neck regulator. Pretty good package. Kind of an interesting watch I've never really seen before. Looks like you got some differences in the dial, surfaces. Looks like your outer minute, you have a double minute track on it, really. So your rehaut is more like an extra minute track in the off-white, the creamy white, and that seems to be a smooth, almost an opaline style finish. And you have that kind of pavement finish in the middle. I love the Flieger hands. Love me some Flieger hands on a watch. I think that really makes something look good. I don't know. What you guys tell me? Anybody, any thoughts on this thing? Does anybody love it, hate it? Bueller? 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 I don't know. It's interesting. It's different. I don't even know how I came across this thing. Just kind of showed up in a picture, and I was like, what is that watch? I've never seen it. But a nice looking piece. That guy's got some veiny arms. He needs a new belt. I don't know. Did he used to be really fat? Look at the holes on that belt. This guy used to be really fat. Now he can cinch up his belt more. I didn't see anything about the clasp, so I don't know if it works for that automatic adjustment or not. Nice case, brushed. Well, just enough, a little bit of polish to make it interesting. Definitely a cool piece. I like it. BW says, not bad. It's interesting. It is kind of interesting. It's different. I don't know. I figured BW would probably like it because he likes interesting, different watches. Yeah, that's kind of neat. I don't know. Yeah, it came up in the thing. I thought I'd share it with you. get your thoughts. See what you guys thought of the watch. Didn't really have much planned for today, so just kind of felt like doing a stream. Thought we would look at some all watch news this morning. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the date window either, BW. Not crazy about the placement, the circle, why does it need a date? Why do we always feel like we need to shove a date into things? And then we put it at weird places. Or we put a big cyclops on it so blind people can read it. I don't know. Yeah, I could do completely without the date. But overall, for the money, I think it's a pretty good package. And I would bet that there's not a lot of those out there, but if you found one, it's a pretty good price. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to head on over to All Watch News and see if we got anything coming up. MK2 updates the classic Fulcrum with a smaller case and thoughtful details. New Orient Bambinos. Wow, there's not a lot. There's not a lot of news. I saw a. Oh, maybe I'll share that. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see. Because we talked about this watch. And my boys over at Watch On, there it is. Let's share that. We'll go without the noise. So we talked about this Chrono Sprint Porsche watch. Look at this case. That is a beautiful, even maybe nicer than a Mega Box. That thing comes on. Push button on the front. And inside, you see you get extras. You get the special plaque. You get the special pillow, the perforated pillow. You get the perforated extra strap. Looks like on a deployment. You get a model car. It's quite the kit you're getting there in your Porsche Rally limited edition. But then he puts it on the wrist. Now, he's going to hit the pusher, I think. I like these guys because they do good long wrist rolls. You get a good look at the watch, see how it fits, and usually they'll do 2 different size wrists while they're doing this. So this is the glass box. 100 meters worth of water resistance, 42 millimeter watch. The TH20-08 movement. You can see the light play off the dial. That's the small wrist guy. Oh, that's the bigger wrist guy there. 18 centimeters. Still not quite the 19 that I need to see, but I get a decent idea what the watches look like when they're on, which is always cool. Whole milk in the chat. Good morning, sir. Onion-shaped crown on Zodiac is making Bruce G hungry. He wants an onion. And I agree. They have been stepping. Oh, here we go. This is that crazy fast running seconds. Now, I get that it runs fast through 20 after. Oh, he's going to turn it. Damn it. Exhibition back. But what I don't get is that it slows down, but it doesn't really slow down the actual second counting like we looked the other day until it gets to the 8 o'clock position. I don't know. So there it is, flying through. It starts to slow down a little bit there, a little bit more there, a little bit more. Still not running in on seconds till about there. Then it really slows down. So it's like, it really reminds me of a roller coaster. You're flying down the hill and then kind of clunking your way back up the other side to get to the top of the hill again. But it's a beautiful watch. I don't know about the usefulness of that counter, but you can't deny that it's good looking. I mean, it's done a really nice job with these things. There it goes. Vroom. There you see it slows down a little bit. And then it doesn't really slow down to start counting seconds for a while yet. So I don't know. It's interesting. Very interesting. But the cool perforated leather driving pillow, the model car, the extra strap, those are all good things. Snaps right back into place. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like I said, I love that box. Not a lot of loom, just the hands. But a cool looking dial layout. It's a nice looking watch. I don't know about its usefulness as far as timekeeping goes, but it's not a bad looking piece. Uh, but it is way overpriced. But you're getting a model car and an extra strap and a beautiful box. It is good looking. Curious to see what those go for on the gray market later. That'll be interesting. Let's see here. Let's go back over to Watch News, see what we got going on in the world, see what we can't talk about. Let's see. Putting the spotlight on the best modern Alpina watches. You know, when I first saw the thumbnail for that, I assumed that those were like Reversos or Cartiers. I didn't even know Alpina made a square watch. That is the Alpina Heritage Carry Automatic 140 years. I mean, you have to like that square look. You have to want an Alpina. $16.95 isn't bad, I guess. But it's a small little square watch. I like these Alpina Extremes. I thought they did a nice job of that. The new ones on the bracelet are even cooler. You can pull up the watch news from 2015 and pretend they are released today. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, geez. Let me share the proper screen. All right. So these are the Alpinas. This is the Heritage Carry Mechanical 140 years. I mean, just another square watch. Nothing super special about it. The Alpina Extremes, though, are actually kind of cool. Like this one on the bracelet, or integrated sports bracelet watch that you wouldn't mind banging around, I guess. It's kind of a neat piece that you don't see very often. It does come on the rubber or on the bracelet. And there's the silver dial version on the bracelet. I like that the screws have the Alpina triangle symbol. Like that little bit of rubber in the crown. Get a little texture, a little different look. Case back, I appreciate that it's open, but it's not like anything super grand to look at. It is 200 meters worth of water resistance. And it's the AL525, the Sleeta based SW200. $16.95 on the strap, $19.95 on the bracelet. Not a bad deal. Alpina does not get a lot of love, but they do say they were one of the first true sports watch brand, like banging around sports watch brands. That was kind of their claim to fame, was to make, like mountain climbing, banging around watches. I've owned a couple of Alpinas. They're very solid pieces. No complaints. Not super expensive. You can play around with them, get rid of them without, killing yourself. I had no idea they did these kind of dress watches and stuff. The Alpina Heritage Automatic. Blued hands. Basic dial. Really looks like an Oris. It reminds me a lot of a Oris Big Crown pointer date. I kind of prefer this style to the other one with the 12369. A little sectory looking. I don't know that I'm running out to the Alpina store to buy one, but again, $16.95. They like $16.95. Oh, they come out with this Sea Strong Diver Extreme, which is like a diver version of the Alpina Extreme. This reminds me of that Zenith thing that they just came out with. This is a GMT, though. So if Brian's out there, he would be very happy. Oh, I want this work. Matthias, BW, Florida Crew, Northern Capitano. I thought I was the northernmost Florida Crew member, Mathis. Isn't that the way that works? I get to be the northernmost guy. So these are divers. These are 39 millimeters, smaller. Cushion shaped case. I mean, it's just kind of a diver version of the other one. Now, I had one of these for a hot minute. This is a flip watch. I bought that tuxedo version of this. This is the internal rotating bezel super compressor looking case dating back to their original super compressor in 1967, it looks like. This was kind of a nice watch. Very underrated, underappreciated, I think. I love this green one on the green rubber. I think if I had bought that one, I would have kept it. But I got that tuxedo one. If you guys remember, I got that watch really cheap. Flipped it and made a couple $100 on it. Made $400 or $500 on it. The guy sold it really. I put in a ridiculous offer. The guy accepted it, sent the watch, and had it for a week or two, and was like, "Well, it's not really a watch I wanted to buy. Just threw a ridiculous offer." You never know. Sometimes you just never know. Sometimes people accept your ridiculousness. But that's kind of cool. But I like these watches, and the green one especially I like. So it was good looking. This watch, this is the California dial Alpina Extreme. Now I do know that you can buy this one if you like these watches If you like California dial, it's actually a really nice looking watch. My boys over at Joyce's Jewelers, I believe, have one of these in their pre-owned section. Let's go take a peek. See if they still have it. I haven't looked since Sunday. There it is. Boom. It's actually a nice looking watch. I saw it in the case. It's very, very, very cool. You have to like the California dial. The California dial probably wouldn't be my favorite dial that they offer this watch in, but it's a cool looking watch. It's a better picture. You get a better look at the grain on the dial, the applied Arabics and Romans. What do you guys think of California dials in general? Is that a weird thing? Is it a good thing, bad thing? I don't know. Anybody have thoughts on the actual California dial? Like why you would want to mix your Arabics and Romans like that? I guess nobody cares about the California dial. What are you going to do? You got up to 13 people watching now. Better than the one we started with. 12 upvotes. That means we're a couple short because 2 of those upvotes are me. We're 3 short. If you haven't hit the upvote button, please do. If you have an opinion on the California dial, please give it. But so this one you can get. This is 41 millimeter on the Alpina Extreme versus 39 on the Diver. Comes with a box and papers. Doesn't say the year, but I don't think this has been out more than a year or two, so it can't be that old. $1,200. It's a good price. If you like something like that, get a hold of my buddy Zach or Tim over at Joyce's Jewelry in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Good guys, watch nerds, good trade-ins. Very fair on their trade-ins. They run a lot of watches in and out, in the used section. Plus, they're an authorized dealer for Omega, Breitling, Oris, Norcane, Zodiac. They don't have a Zodiac. I don't think they have one of those Jetomatics in stock. No. In fact, I don't think they have all their Zodiacs on here. I was actually really impressed with the Zodiac line. I never really played around with those watches before. They were actually a lot nicer than I thought they would be. I was very, very excited to see them. I thought this lapis or this this lapis style one was really pretty. They had a black version of this with different hands. It was a nice looking piece. And I'm not sure what makes one different, but they have a beautiful bracelet. Very cool. Very cool watches. Good morning, John D. Some much needed caffeine for the day. Yes, we started early today too. I didn't know if we had any UK people that might want to jump on a little bit earlier. But yes, we started. We did an early stream today. I got some stuff to do, so woke up, had a little breakfast, fed the cats and the dog, did all that kind of stuff, and started a stream. So that's the second Zodiac we've looked at today. Because I was looking at this. I mean, John D, you're into some interesting watches as well. Have you ever heard of the Zodiac Jetomatic pilot's watch? It's not in the current catalog. Looks like they made a 40 millimeter version and a chronometer, and this is the 42 millimeter version. I'd never heard of it, but it's kind of cool. It kind of caught my eye. I saw it. I was like, what is that watch? And I had to go investigate. I mean, I liked it. Never heard of it before. The article on a blog to watch from 2017 I honestly don't know when they did. I don't know anything about it, when it was discontinued. When I mean, I just know when I went over to the Zodiac website, it's not in the current catalog. It was $14.95 in 2017. So who knows? But kind of a cool watch. Just enough polish, a lot of pretty much fully brushed, but just a little bit of polish to give it a little bit of light play, which you like. I know I like the shiny bits. I'm a big shiny bit guy. But kind of neat, kind of neat. Let's see what else we got going on out here in the world today. Because I'm not even sure. I had no idea. I had no plans for this show. So, oh, well, here you go. We were just asking this question. We might as well take a look at it. The 10 of the best California dial watches making the most of the quirky layout. Let's take a look at this article. Nomos, Vermont is in. All right, so this is a Time and Tide article. So we're going to start with the Timex Marlin hand wound California dial. And again, I don't know. Does anybody really? John D says Zodiac has some nice pieces, but don't know much at all about the brand. Yeah, me either. Like I said, I played with those ones over at Joyce's the other day, and it was the first time I ever really had hands on with them, and I was actually kind of impressed for what you were getting for the money. I thought it was a pretty good deal. BW says Timex Nomos in Vermont. What the fuck, Mark? Well, let's see if they have anything else in here. This is California dials. I never understood the California dial. Whole Milk says it's a Fossil group shitter. Yeah, Zodiac is owned by Fossil now. And actually, I found that out on Tim's stream. I think he had the Zodiac guy on there when he got that rainbow abomination. But let's see if they have anything interesting. Boulder Ranger. Microbrand, $299. The Safari Automatic with the California dial. Meh. Fairer. We've talked about Fairer before. We like some of the stuff they do. This may not be one of the things that I like that they do. Oh, that was a Serica. That's right. It was a Serica. It's probably the best looking one that I've seen so far. Isotope. I really don't know much about Isotope, but apparently they do a California now and a ugly hand watch. Those are ugly hands. That watch has very ugly hands. What's going on there? Does anybody like those hands? BW says California dial is to show what the dial maker can do. That's not their historic ownership, John D, but that is their. It's been their ownership for a while. Yeah, like Whole Milk said. I'm not sure when they picked them up. Panerai makes a nice Cali dial radio mirror, says BW. So there you have it. Let's see if they got anything else on here. So Isotope, I don't know much about. I think those hands are hideous. So Nomos, I know they do a lot of the California. They do kind of a reverse California dial because they put the Romans on the bottom. I like Nomos. I appreciate what they do. There's our Alpina Extreme from Alpina. The Bremont. Yeesh. Oh, here you go. Here you go. The Radio Mirror California. Coming in at $12,300. Boy, that's the most expensive one on this list. That's for sure. Still not a Panarista. can't. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really a California dial guy either. I just don't understand it. This watch seems to be making all the rounds. John D being in the chat, maybe he likes this one. This is the new, I guess, new Grand Seiko SLGH 025. The Mount Iwate dial. I've seen this all over the Instagrams. So this is their new textured dial with a name. I mean, it's cool looking. It's not a spring drive. This is the high beat. Appreciate the high beat. But that's, I mean, again, but it looks like the same bracelets. I would love to see better bracelet, better cloth. It's a big textured burst dial. Yes, to evoke thoughts of the mountain. I mean, you can't fault them for their craftsmanship. You can fault them for the name. You can fault them a little bit that they're always trying to come up with these textured dial. I wish that they would streamline, hone in, find a, you know, GS92A5 movement is where it's at. It's a high beat. 9S A5. Yeah. I appreciate the high beat. That's one of the things that, you don't see very often. I love accuracy. I love a smooth sweep, but you get a really smooth sweep out of a spring drive too. But I think 10,500. Oof. Seems like a lot for that watch. Huh. Time will be offered in additional colors as part of the permanent collection. So if the light blue seen here is not to your taste, this is where the waiting game begins. This one is limited to 1,200 pieces. So maybe the other colors will be less expensive. I don't know. I mean, am I the only one that looks at that watch and thinks $5,000? Yeah, no loom. I mean, I don't know. It's not my. It's really, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but that GMT and the Evolution 9 collection, the SBB, is really the only Grand Seiko I really like. That's really expensive, though. It just seems, I don't know. John D says, I really want to like Grand Seiko, but it's hard to overcome the derivative. I hate the name. Love their dials and the spring drive tech, but wish Grand Seiko was still Seiko branded with Grand Seiko a special edition. Something, anything. I wish they just put the GS logo on it. Took out the Grand and the Seiko. Make that logo, just a tad bit bigger. Take out the Grand Seiko and then go to town. And Old Milk says, give it a couple grand, it'll be $5,000 on the secondary. Yeah, I don't know. Excuse me. I just don't get it. I don't get the pricing structure. I don't get the naming. I don't get the bad bracelets and clasps. The dials, the finishing, I get. Like I said, I looked at that one at Teddy's when I was out there, and I was really impressed with the dial, especially in the indices and the hands. The polishing, the fit and finish, it was amazing on those. But and the bracelet was meh. The clasp was meh. The micro adjust was non-existent. You know what I mean? Like, it just, there's a lot missing for that kind of money in my mind. It just seemed to be lacking. It just really seemed to be lacking something. Let's see what else we got going on in the world, if anything. Damn, I don't know what the hell that watch is, but it's ugly. I don't want to pull it up. I'm afraid I get stuck on it. Louis Erard. Does he just do collaborations? Looks like another Louis Erard collaboration. He makes some interesting watches and stuff, but it seems like everything's like a collab, or there's a regulator. Le Regulator, Louis Erard, and Vianney Halter II. It's a nice looking watch. It's double branded. Which actually kind of I mean, it's kind of a nice looking watch, but with the two names on it, I don't know. Yeah, see, this is what I've said forever. Oops, sorry. Why? StreamYard's not working very well. McCallum Drinker says no one calls a Lexus a Grand Toyota. Grand Seiko needs to differentiate itself from Seiko. Yeah. The Louis Erard VH is too big, unfortunately. Let's pull up the actual article, then take a peek at it. 44 Swiss francs, 178 limited edition. Let's see. I don't like that double branding. You can't make these pictures bigger. But real Vianney crown with rivets. I'm not sure I'm crazy about that. What is the size of this watch? It's a Salida. Give the specs on this thing or not? Let's see. What size is this watch, Whole Milk? John D says would personally prefer the brand to have kept Seiko as the overall brand and just offer special editions in the Grand Seiko line in the same way AMG does for Mercedes-Benz. The problem is that Seiko is not the Mercedes-Benz of watches. I would actually prefer a completely different name. Yeah. Like I said, I if I want a fancy Toyota, I don't buy a Grand Toyota. If I want a fancy Honda, I don't buy a Grand Honda, a Lexus or an Acura. I just think that I think the Seiko name. I know I'm not the only one. It comes up every time I say it, but there are a lot of people that just don't care for. Or the bracelets, as Anthony says. The bracelets ruin them for me. I've had a few and sold them all because they didn't feel right. Yeah, the bracelets they're very Seiko-esque in a lot of ways. I get that they have Creedor, but that's just another confusing element to this thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like another additional confusing, weird, like, it's just another thing I don't get. I just don't get it. I don't understand why they did it that way, why they thought that was the way to go. Whole Milk says that watch is 43 millimeters, he thinks. Yeah, that's, I mean, I don't mind a 40, I'm wearing a 43 and a half, so I don't mind a 43 millimeter. What I don't like on this watch, speaking of the branding, is having two separate names on this Louis Erard Vianney halter the second. La Regulator. Toyota Sequoia starts at 63 grand. It's already a grand Toyota. No, it's a 63 grand Toyota. Yeah, but I get the Creedor thing. But BMW has their M series, Mercedes Benz has their AMG line. Why shouldn't Seiko have a Grand Seiko level? Because they're not a luxury brand. So if you're spinning off of BMW or Mercedes Benz, you're spinning off the higher brand. Grand Seiko is spinning off the lesser brand. I think that was the thought process behind Lexus and Acura, was to elicit a luxury response, to present it as a luxury piece separate of the Toyota and or Honda. To lesser extent, Infiniti. Same thing. Infinitis are Nissans. So I think I get what you're saying. I just think that the problem with the Grand Seiko name for me isn't the grand part. It's the Seiko part, because Seiko does not elicit a luxury response in my brain or in anybody that I know. So like if I'm out, people know that I love watches. My friends know that I love watches. So whenever I run into them, at different, whether it be an event or the market or whatever, they're always, one of their questions, I don't even think they care. I gotta be honest with you. I don't think they just know that I love watches. So they always say, they ask me, what are you wearing? Hey, what watch you wearing today? And Seiko does not elicit, like a Grand Seiko to them would be weird, because they'd just be like, oh, Seiko's not all, because I have said in the past, it's just a Seiko today. Oh, what's that? It's a kind of an entry level watch. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but Seiko is not a luxury brand. So if you're going to spin it off into something, you need to call it something else. That's why the Creedor is a little bit higher, and it's called Creedor. It's different. I think Seiko is the word on the dial that makes the watch seem less. Because Seiko's, and for most watch people, although they're great watches, I own a bunch of them. I've owned a bunch. I love Seiko's, but I would never consider Seiko's are in my shitter box. He says people chase the higher level packages of Wrangler. Yes, but it's just labeled as a Jeep. They're just Jeeps. When they came out with the Grand Wagoneer, it was not branded as a Jeep, because they were trying to, they made the opposite mistake. They made something that looked like a Jeep and just tried not to call it a Jeep. The Grand Seiko doesn't look like a Seiko. Well, except for the bracelet and the clasp. But yeah, I would rather a different name. Something that doesn't automatically make me think of my shitter box. Yeah, but that was just so the Grand Cherokee. You see, you're confusing these, because the Grand Cherokee was initially a replacement for the Cherokee. Then they repriced the Cherokee line. They way lowered the price of the Cherokees and found out they could sell millions of them. but the Grand Cherokee was an evolution of the original Cherokee. The Grand Seiko is trying to be a luxury product. I know you can get some expensive Seikos, but in general, these Grand Seikos, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 grand are not your $1,000 shitters. But my Seikos are in my shitter box, not in my, they're not part of the luxury watch collecting. They are part of watch collecting. They're cool watches, but they're not in the. When I think Seiko, I think of my shitter box. I don't think of a luxury watch. Yeah, you do. I think you're absolutely wrong. I think it hurts them. I know Grand Seiko sycophants will defend it, to the end. The reason I'll never own a Grand Seiko is because it says Seiko. I just don't like it. It makes it less. It definitely makes it less. And when they came out with the Grand Cherokee, they're actually priced at the point that the old Cherokees were. Grand Cherokee Limited, and when they early entered it as a 1993 in the spring of 92, Grand Cherokee Limiteds were 25 grand, just right around the price that the old Cherokee Limited was. So they weren't asking double the price. And when that vehicle came out, it was amazing. There were some amazing things about the Grand Cherokee when it initially came out that you did not get in any SUV, really. You did. It was not built on a pickup truck frame or a ladder frame. It was a unibody, so it actually rode more like a car. Had a four wheel coil spring suspension instead of leaf springs in the back. It had anti-lock brakes that worked in 2 and 4 wheel drive, which you didn't find on cars back then. And it was the only SUV, the first, for a couple of years, was the only SUV you get a driver's side airbag in. That wouldn't go off if you just took it off roading. It was actually a kind of a cool car, but the pricing was that of the old Cherokees, really a little bit more, but not. I mean, maybe $800 to $1,000 more when they first came out. So it wasn't a much more expensive thing. And then what they did was they lowered the price of the Cherokees. Like I said, they needed to get rid of what they had left. So you had your Cherokee Sports and your Cherokee Countries and your base model Cherokees. And they lowered the price on those. And they found a whole new market segment that they didn't realize it was there. And people went crazy buying those cars because people love those cars. Now that they get one cheaper, whoa. Branding works for watch people, but it will deter your average buyer who isn't into watches. People who aren't into watches are confused about why my Grand Seiko costs so much. Yeah, because Seiko built a brand around affordable. Yeah, it was attainable, affordable watches. Well, back then it was Daimler Chrysler, Daimler Benz back in the day. We were owned by Mercedes back then. And they didn't call us Mercedes Light. They didn't say, hey, we just bought they bought Chrysler, they bought American Motors for Jeep. Because it was they had to take Renault with it. But they didn't decide, hey, let's name this Mercedes and we'll go with Grand Mercedes for the rest of the line. And they bought it for the Jeep name. And when I buy a Seiko, it's part of it's for the name because it's a nice watch, but uh, it's not a piece that it makes me think luxury. Do you want to go out, Shanna? What do you want? Um, that's always been my issue with it. Is the name? That's my biggest issue. The name, clasps, and bracelets. That would be the things that make me go, not so sure. But uh, that being said, I can't take anything away from the fit, finish, and polish, the indices, the hands. I mean, they're beautiful watches. It's just a confusing name. They are doing some road work, cutting to replace all of our gas lines in the neighborhood. So if you hear that, if you hear the construction vehicles outside, I apologize. My non-watch friends would think I'm crazy if I bought a $5,000 Seiko prospect solely due to the word Seiko. Yes. But again, if I have a Seiko on and I run into one of my friends, I just say, they're like, what watch you wearing? I'm like, yeah, it's just a shade Seiko. Yeah, I'm out at the Home Depot or something doing something. You know what I mean? Like, they know that I think that Seiko is a lesser brand. Even though I like the brand, it just seems lesser. They probably think you're crazy to spend 5,000 on a watch, regardless of the name. I'm sure that's as well too. Bring non-watch people into this. They think you're crazy for spending more than an Apple Watch money on a watch. Oh yeah, they don't understand, but they know that I'm into it, and they always ask, "What are you wearing today?" Hey, I saw a picture. Oh, I saw that one on your Instagram, or I saw it on your Facebook. Oh, it's beautiful in person. They always say the nice things and stuff. You can tell they don't care. They just, they're being nice because we're friends. But if I'm wearing a Seiko, I say, I'm just wearing a Seiko today. I make it lesser. But I know that they know what a Seiko is. They've been to Macy's. They know what a $500 watch is. But to try and sit there and explain to them why this watch is 10,500 and it says Seiko, like the ones that I dismiss, would be, oh, my brain would melt. Hold on, I gotta let the cat out. Needy cat, needy cat. Come on. I know. You're crying. I get it. Go ahead. So Shadow, who has made some appearances on some of the streams, she was on OC show last night with me for a little bit. She was a proximity cat. So what I mean by that was she was one of those cats that didn't want to be with you, but wanted to be in eyesight of you, like just kind of hanging out on her own. Every once in a while, she'd come over, you pet her a little bit, but then she just kind of go over to her little corner or whatever. And then when Rebel and TC Cat passed, those were her buds, and she's just become they're very, 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 very needy after that. Wants to be around all the time. Non-watch people likely wouldn't know there's a difference in nearly all watches. They do know what a Rolex is. They know what an Omega is. They know what a Breitling is. So that, yeah, they know what's. I have some friends who look up the watches when they see the pictures I post, and a friend of mine just went out to Joyce's and bought a Breitling. He asked me for some advice on the Breitling, and he went and bought that. Oh my God, they would love the Aqua Timer because they know what an IWC is. A lot of people know what IWC because certain brands just have a little bit of gravitas. Even a Panerai, people know what a Panerai is because of movies, and stuff, movie stars and people that they follow. But I'm sure everyone universally loved to watch the IWC Aqua Tiger. Can you imagine the excitement on someone's face when they see you wearing the Ultimate Dive Watch, the IWC, the International Wristwatch, International Watch Company's Aqua Tiger with the internal rotating bezel? Who doesn't love a good internal rotating bezel? I love a good internal rotating bezel. It's no secret. And people know what a Longines is because I've had a number of Longines over the years, and people they don't know all the specifics about it, but they know they know the brand names. They know more than you think. The younger kids don't. Younger kids can't even tell time on these things because it's not digital. That's where we're losing the youth. They can't tell time. They can't tell time. But enough of this Grand Seiko malarkey. Let's go on to. Hold on one second. Did anybody check out OC's show last night with Moses making the fucked up tacos? That is why I don't cook on stream. I just show you the end product. Who wants to be ridiculed like that? Like we were ridiculing Moses. I'm sure that still happens, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Seiko is not a luxury brand. You know? And that's my issue with it. It says Seiko on the dial. Like I said, if they took off the Grand Seiko and just left the GS logo, I would be much better with it. But the fact that it says Seiko makes it lesser, not only in people who look at it, that don't know much about watches, but in my mind, it elicits the shitter box, not the luxury roll. In my mind. Not taking anything away from the watch, with the exception, and again, the bracelets and the clasps, that's just foul. There's no reason for that at those prices. So even if you keep the name the same, you need to do something about your R&D for your bracelets and your clasps and your. There's work to be done. There's work to be done. They have a little bit of a foothold. They have a little bit of a cult following. They need to do something if they really want to start bringing people in, I mean, it's hard enough because it's a Japanese brand, and most people, even when every year, what is our favorite thing to get? The Morgan Stanley report, which is all about Swiss watchmakers. There's, I want to, excuse me. Grand Seiko does a lot of nice things. They just, the name bothers me. And the bracelets and the clasps bother me. John D says he likes to. Yeah, I actually prefer to see him on leather. It's hard to fuck up a leather strap. Yeah. I just don't understand why the bracelets really remind me of Seiko's. There's a whole cottage industry of people making bracelets for Seikos that are better than Seiko bracelets. So why would you want to have your luxury product elicit that response as well? I don't know. I could just be totally clueless. No one knows for certain. What is this new colored, fancy looking Breitling? Well, that's fancy looking. The Breitling Super Ocean Heritage B20 Automatic 42 Amsterdam Limited Edition, celebrating 750 years of the city. So my buddy bought the Super Ocean Heritage. He got a 46, which shocked me. But he wanted the big dial. He bought the green on steel and loves it. And he has both the rubber strap and the stainless mesh strap with it. This is the 42 millimeter version. Let's see. If you buy the watch, it will set you back $69.50 on the rubber strap, $7,500 on the stainless steel bracelet. Breitling will engrave the three crosses on the clasp. The exact meaning of the crosses is unknown. Well, I can tell you what I think the three crosses mean. He says it might be the three plagues that have hit Amsterdam: flood, fire, and the Black Death. Normally, the three crosses are the crucifixion. But hey, yeah, there were three dudes there. Better get over here fast. I mean, do they have a picture of it on the bracelet? It's kind of odd with that bezel. Let's see. Super Ocean. Rose gold unidirectional dive bezel, but with the stainless lugs and case. And I guess you would have the stainless bracelet. I think I would prefer it on the black rubber if that's the case. It's not bad looking. It looks just like a Breitling. It looks like a different color Super Ocean Heritage. It's a little bit expensive for what it is, but hey, who am I to judge? It's a beautiful dial, though, if you like the red dials. It is a chronometer grade movement. Yeah. I'm on a mission to find a good. Yeah, I know. I would like to find a good one too. 42 millimeter on the is perfect on the Super Ocean Heritage. I actually agree. Surprisingly, that would be my choice on that watch. He went with the 46, which was shocking to me. But hey, it's what he wanted. He got the green. The green dial is beautiful on those. I mean, it's a beautiful sunburst dial. And it's a lot of green though. 521 Taipei says now the question is, what watch throws away your money faster, Grand Seiko or Breitling? Ooh. I think the 46 millimeter is the only acceptable with the IWC Big Pilot. Actually, I like the 43. I'm a big fan of the 43 millimeter Big Pilot watch. The problem with it isn't the diameter, it's the crown. The crown, when you get up over 43, 44, that crown digs into your hand as you move about your day. There's just no way to do it. I mean, this is 43 and a half. It's fine. But I don't think I can get it. There was a picture. I think it actually came up in yesterday's memories. Let's see. Let's try this. If you can go back in the memories. And it doesn't let you change the date. Yesterday, in the memories was a picture of me wearing my 45 millimeter Horus Big Crown Pro Pilot. And one of the things I noticed was the huge divot in my hand that the crown makes. But it will not let me pull it up. Will not let me change the date. Wonder if I can go back. So that would have been February 3rd, maybe 2022 or 2021. Let's see if I can't find that picture for you. Hold on, give me a second here. I might have a way to do this. I'm gonna go back. Shadow, stop. You just went out. You know what? Maybe it was 23. Hold on. Maybe it was 23. There it is. Boom. All right. So I'm not wearing the big crown in that picture. I'm wearing the Pro Pilot. I thought that was. Wait, hold on. I got the wrong picture. Hold on. Damn it. Make sure that. Hold on. There it is. That's the picture I was looking for. Boom. All right. So that's a 45 millimeter Big Crown Pro Pilot there. And look, you see the big crown, and that's not even the big old onion crown. That's what Oris considers a big crown, which isn't that big. But look at the big red mark on my hand, right where the wrist comes in. That is from that crown. I think Doc BBW bought Archie's 46 millimeter Super Ocean Heritage 2. I tried it on when I met him, and it was way too large. It's a big watch. It's definitely a big watch. 46 millimeter is a dinner plate size. I have a friend with this size in a Navy, and it looks awkward even on his 7.5-inch wrist. Unpleasant looking at that size. He says, wow, that red mark on my hand is from that crown. From just moving around during the day, and when you're moving around, the crown, the width of the watch makes it with a bigger crown. So I can't even imagine the Pro Pilot crown, because that's a giant onion crown on that one. But that's a detriment to that watch, I would say. But look at that handsome devil. That's a few months after the open heart surgery. Maybe 5 months afterwards. 5-6 months. But that big Crown Pro Pilot was a beautiful watch. Small seconds, GMT. Cool deal watch. But yeah, that's Mark wearing I have the wrist for it. I can definitely wear the watch. But the crown, damn, bummer. Yeah, right. and it got worse because I would had that one in the rotation with the Aquaterra and probably something else at the time, and it just kept getting worse and worse to the point where it was starting to bother me a little bit. It was starting to hurt a little bit. And I was like, damn. Way too large at 46 for nearly all wrists. Even over 8-inch wrists might have trouble. Yeah, I mean that's a 45 on my wrist right there. I don't think a 46 is that big of a deal, but for if you're up over 7.5 inches, but it's big, and like I said, the problem wasn't the watch or the head or the width. It was the crown digging into my hand. A bit of a bummer. When the lug-to-lug dimension feels like a stretch limo, it's too big, says John D. Yes, too big. I miss that watch. I like that watch. Then I tried another one, the newer version. I didn't like it as much. I actually liked that one with the gray. It was a little subdued. It was kind of a cool watch, but the crown was it just made it prohibitive. So a big pilot crown. Let me pull up the IWC. I don't see George in the chat. I think it's safe to pull up IWC. Hold on. Let's go. Oh, well, if we're going to go to IWC, we might as well start here. Here you go, whole milk. It's the Aqua Timer. You know how much I love it. You know it. You love it. You can't live without it. It's the IWC Aqua Timer. But that being said, let's go over to the pilot's watches. Let's filter this to show you the difference between a couple of these that I like. So big crown. God, they got a lot of pilot watches. Who would have thought that you would need that many pilot watches? All right, so this is one of my favorites. This is a watch that I really like. IWC equals irrational watch choice. Yes, but look at that crown. So that's a 43 with that big crown. So the 43 you can get away with without digging it into your hand all the time. But that big pilot's crown is something. Look at the back on this. It's a beautiful watch. The bracelet's cool. The watch is cool. The back's cool. The newer movement is 100 meters water resistant. It's only a 5-day power reserve on the 43 versus a 7-day on the big crowny on the regular pilot's watch. But that's just a fine watch. Oh God, seriously. Somebody needs to get with the watch manufacturers about updating their websites, making them more user friendly. All right, so here's a big pilot's watch. Kind of a traditional looking big pilot's watch right here. 46.2. And look at that crown. Look at the size of that crown. Can you imagine what my hand would look, the back of my hand would look like with that crown digging into it? You know, it's 3.2 millimeters bigger, which doesn't seem like a ton, but it's a lot. OC, the original OC says, never good to discuss IWC. Breakfast question. can we safety ban lettuce as a breakfast ingredient? Do we ever really need lettuce in a breakfast recipe? Yeah, I'm not a big lettuce breakfast guy. I think that lettuce on it's a breakfast sandwich. It should have like meat and cheese and eggs and stuff like that. I don't think that there's any room for lettuce. Oh my god, I love the crown, but I can see that big vein disruptor on your hand. Yeah, that thing is going to just, like I said, the 45 with what they call a big crown, which isn't nearly as big as this crown, and the Oris left that mark on my hand. What is this going to do to my hand? Hold on, let me let the cat back in. Shadow, Lucha, I keep thinking your cat is my cat meowing. No, it's Shadow. Shadow, what are you doing? Come on. Come on. Then she's needy, but you pick her up and then she cries like a banshee. Yeah, you. All right, go lay down. Welcome to my world. The cat is trying to save you from buying another IWC. Yes. The cat loves the Aqua Tower. It says even Shadow doesn't like this IWC. True story. She's a big Omega fan. She's an Omega fan girl. She likes the sparkly bits. But yeah, so a 46 millimeter with that size crown, I can't even imagine what that would do to the back of my hand. When you look at but seriously, that red mark on the back of my hand is from that crown. I'm sure at the time, it's 2023, I'm sure I had I know I had the Aquaterra, the first Aquaterra still. I had probably had the SMP 300 then as well. The Oris and probably whatever Seikos, whatever I would throw into the mix to wear. It was a beautiful watch, but damn, I mean, it just got to the point of being painful. So this big crown thing, this big pilot crown thing would just be, I don't know if they have a picture of it on somebody's wrist or not. Probably not, because nobody likes to wear it. Look at that thing. Look at that crown. That would be a killer. That would absolutely be a killer. I've tried on the 43, and it's close to digging into my hand. So I can't imagine a 46.2, what that would do to my, to the back of my hand. It would just be I'd be a bloody mess. And they're like, hey, Lucha bloody. But that's a big ass crown. Now, one of the things, because that one has the 7-day power reserve movement, that's only a 60 meter water resistance instead of the 100 that you get on the 43. You have the closed case back with the iron cage versus the orange open case back. I don't know. I like the 43 better. I really do. I think it's a better watch. Not that there's anything wrong with this. I just don't think that this would be very practical to wear. And I say that as someone who likes big watches. I say get the 43. And at 12.5, yeah, it's bigger and it has 2 more days of power reserve. I mean, do you really need more than 5? Do you really need more than 2? I get it. It's our thing. But I think for the money, the 43 is definitely the way to go. And I don't even think you need the chronos. I think this is a better watch. At 9,700, you're almost $3,000 less for this watch than the Big Pilot for the traditional Big Pilot. You got the beautiful Sunray dial. This watch is beautiful in person too. When you see it, it's gorgeous. You still have the big crown, but at 43, at least it's manageable and not digging in. And you have the beautiful exhibition case back. I mean, they really did a nice job with that. Skeleton rotor, the touches of gold, the gems, the jewels. I don't know. I think it's a really good looking back. Hard to beat. Here it is on someone's wrist, even. Look at that. But you can see how close he is. This guy probably doesn't have super big wrists. You can see how the crown is protruding here. It wants to dig in. It wants to dig in. It's going to happen. That guy's going to have a giant wound on the back of his hand. Homo says, IWC doesn't say luxury to me. I'd rather have a Grand Seiko. Well, there you go. I would take an IWC over Grand Seiko, but that has nothing to do with the name. It's just I like the way the watch looks. I love that bracelet. I think it's interesting technology. Yeah, like their bracelets are really nice. They have that interesting way that you take that you can remove the links, the adjustability on it, the flow. It's just a beautiful bracelet. Well done bracelet, I have to say. And a cool watch. Flieger hands. This has that adjustment, on-the-fly adjustment where you push in the IWC logo. If you see these, try to make this bigger. See these little dots here on the ends of the bracelet? So there's a tool that comes with this. You push in on that to release the spring bars in there to adjust the bracelet, to take links out. It's really a cool system. They do not get nearly enough credit for that as they should. But again, if we're looking at an IWC versus a Grand Seiko, the bracelet technology, the look, the feel is just so much better. And at $9,700, I would take this over that $10,500 mount any day. I can't argue that. It would be impossible to argue for the other way for me. But that seems to be all that's going on in the watch community here these days. I mean, unless you want to look at the Piaget Polo flying tourbillon, which I don't. I don't know if we really covered these new Formula Ones, which I'm not crazy about, but at least they're automatics. There's original 90s Formula Ones were mainly quartz watches with that the weird plastic bezel. Like when you look back on them now, you're like, oh, what were we thinking? Why did we think these were good looking watches? Why were we enamored with this? But this is, you're going to see so much Formula One content coming out of them because of getting the sponsorship deal with Formula One. This is much better looking than the old Formula One watches, but they're expensive. Do they have the prices on these? Closed case bags. Yeah, $4,900 and 4,700 for the different models. That's expensive for that watch, I think. It's not horrible looking, and like I said, it's an improvement over the original Formula Ones, but geez, it's expensive. I just don't think of them in that kind of price, of a Formula One in that kind of price bracket. You know, Formula Ones are kind of like, in my mind, 2,500 and under. So when you start getting close to $5,000, I have a lot more choices at that price range. There's a lot of things I can look at that. Um, John D says IWC and prices might be more appropriate, but I know they build better watches. I just don't know what it is, but IWC does nothing for me. I don't even know. The bracelets are better. Obviously, their bracelet technology and the stuff they do is really slick. But I would a lot of ways. There's a lot of Oruses that I like more than IWCs. Um, Orus does a pretty good job. I mean, their new pilot range. I don't think that they don't have that small seconds one anymore. Let's kind of look them up. We haven't looked at the Orus pilot watches in a while. Whoop, you got the wrong one. All right, let's go over to the Big Crown Pro Pilot Big Date. And I don't even think the date's that big. I mean, normally when the watch says big date, it's a big ass watch. A big ass date. But so these are 41 millimeters. So they don't make that small seconds version GMT like the one that I had. They still make this one, which is a really nice watch. And at 2,500 bucks, you're gonna get a discount on it. You're probably closer to $2,000. That's a heck of a piece for $2,000, really. Good loom, applied Arabics. I don't know. I love those turbine bezels and crowns. That's a great watch. I don't know if they do anything. Oh, gee. Let's see. Then they do the day date version of it, the altimeter, and if you want something really big and expensive, that one actually has the altimeter in it. Carbon fiber titanium case, PVD plated. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody really need that? So the GMT now, I think this is the only GMT that they make. This watch in the flesh, it's a 41 and a half, but it wears a little bit smaller. It's gorgeous. The dial on that watch is gorgeous. That's your GMT now. And I think that's the only, I don't think there's even any other colors. I think it's just that fume red. I don't know. They have a name for it. But pretty cool. But that watch at 3,400, I think that's the caliber 400 in that one. Let's take a peek here. 56 hours power reserve. Does it say? Huh. Doesn't really say. Maybe it is a caliber 400. But I think that has an in-house, might have the in-house movement in it. Really? And yeah, my favorite, the Colson limited edition carbon fiber watch. But at $49.50, that's just dumb for that watch. That's their pilot's line now. They've reduced it. They used to have a lot more. It's definitely not what it once was. John D, thank you so much. Just a little something to thank you for keeping the lights on and talking watches and as often as you do, Mark. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. I love to talk watches. And as OC says, Mark, you just park bench all the time. Yeah, whatever we're talking about, I don't care. You know, there are shows that are specific. There's like they have a subject, they stick to it, they do that. God bless those people. I can't. I just like to chat and whatever happens. But I appreciate the super chat. You guys are the best. The best audience and the best conversation. And one of the things I didn't see, John D and I completely disagree on the name Grand Seiko, but that's okay. We're not gonna we're allowed to share our opinions and talk about it and move on with our lives like adults. Which is one of the things you need to look at with when you with people. It doesn't have to be animosity all the time. Where you can actually have a debate. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. You're allowed. Or OC says link for Moses the jeweler. Yes. Where is Moses? He needs to stick to jewelry. But literally at the end, the best part of that video was the end. Because when that guy was kind of stuttering through the his explaining how he felt about it, he said it was weird. They all had the look on their face like, oh my God, there is raw habanero in my mouth. Every one of them. Like, I don't think anybody thought that through at all. It smelled like an old woman. Yeah. I thought he said that too, Logan. I totally thought he said that. I'm like, huh? What are we watching? But yeah, if you get a chance, go over check that out on the original OC stream. A little different entertainment from Moses, kind of reviewing Moses Taco building. I thought he should use a skirt steak. Like he even said, oh, I wish it was a thicker steak. And then the pieces that he put in those tiny tortillas were way too big. His chop on his onions and a few other things was way too big for the pico. I don't know. And his green sauce had no tomatillas in it, which was just strange. How about Super Seiko? It's an alternative name. Only if it has a cape. Only if it comes with a cape. First things first, I would take the Moses has over 200 comments on that video, all positive, not a single mention of the food, his technique, or his cooking style. It's all about personality and attitude. Shows how much we know. Yeah, I'm sure his fans loved it. But he's cooking a steak, and you had Logan Hall on the panel. Logan's gonna evaluate that, and Logan loves it. And again, this is why when you go to my Instagram or we come on the show here, you get the finished product. I'm not going to sit there and let you guys dissect how I did all that cooking. But anyways, back to Grand Seiko. Take off the name Grand. Just leave the GS. And, if you're going to name it Grand Seiko, fine. Just don't write Seiko on the dial. Just put the GS logo on there and fix the bracelets. There is no dill in this whatsoever. This is just avocado toast with a poached egg, little everything bagel seasoning, some chives, and some bacon. Simple breakfast. I'm going to make the sauce for the other tonight. So check out my Instagram tomorrow and you'll see something green. Because I bought tomatillos, which is funny because, she sends me a message saying, hey, show you might be interested in tonight, which I was, thank you. But I was leaving the market and I had tomatillos because I needed to make a verde, and he wasn't using tomatillos in his green sauce, and I was just like, ugh. The other part of it was he just didn't really seem to know anything about the ingredients he had. Like somebody just said, "Hey, we got you some ingredients." Um, so that a lot of that was like he was looking at it for the first time. If you want to make a pico with habanero, that's great, but I would just like mass feed that to people. I would probably use serranos and serrano and jalapeno. I think he did torch a jalapeno and put it into the green sauce. Yeah, that would be better. Yeah, I would like that better as well. Yeah, something. I really what I would like to see is them do something with their get some R&D people on the bracelets and the clasps. You know, it's way too 2025 not to have micro adjusted. On the fly micro adjust in your clasp. It's unforgivable to have a clasp that or to have a bracelet like that. I mean, even you know as fuzzy as they can be with some of the stuff. It's we complain about the 300M bracelet a lot. Now at least they give you the option of the mesh. It does have on the fly micro adjust, but then like the Aquaterra, which the bracelet's been the same forever now, is stunning. This new bracelet is beautiful. The clasp is cool. It does have a comfort setting. I mean, they've just done a heck, actually taken into consideration, some of the things that people have said. Now, if they would just put a quick release system on there and offer they make beautiful rubber straps for those Arcteryx, but they don't really offer them on the website. I don't even know how you would get one, but with a cool deployment, those are great. It'd be nice to have that option and to be able to do it quick. Because one of the things I loved about my Zenith Defy Skyline was it had that really easy to use quick release, and it came with the rubber strap on the deployant and the bracelet, so you could change it up. But then Zenith just broke my heart. They just continuously broke my heart. Zenith. Let's go. I mean, not even talking about the. Oh God, can you guys hear that road? Those guys digging up the road outside. Sorry about that. If you can. Sorry. Do not want to sign up. All right, so Zenith. Now, I had a Defy Skyline, which was a great watch. It's a beautiful watch. A lot of compliments on it. But then they just started doing weird stuff, trying to make it look like something else. I don't know. And then it did have the 10-second fidget spinner. Then it came out with like stuff like this that looks like it's supposed to be like an offshore looking dive watch extreme. Like who wants a Defy? I don't know. And an 11.3, I think you have a lot better choices at 11.3. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of different watches. You might, what's a sub cost these days if you can get one? 10 something? Which would you rather have? But all of this kind of homage looking stuff, when I went to the AP store in New York City, I had this one. I had the blue. I was wearing this, and and I was looking at the code 1159. The guy was really gracious, really nice. Let me see whatever I wanted. But when I was looking at the, he goes, "Oh, what are you wearing?" I was like, wearing a knockoff of one of your watches. My Defy Skyline. It's a great watch. It was, it had that cool star rotor on the back of it, which I don't even show that. There you go. El Primero, the 10-second fidget spinner counter. It was, a really pretty watch. It was a good watch. Oh, geez. There's another one with these websites that are terrible. What is with these people? But then, like this Chronomaster Sport Rainbow. I mean, it's bad enough the Chronomaster Sport looks like a Daytona. It's a little bigger. I think it's 41 millimeter. But that's ugly. Deplorable. But then this, like, why? Why do you keep doing this? And I'll tell you the one that really gets my goat, because Muhammad Ali was on the other day and he was showing some of his watches that he had. And one of the watches he had the old school Zenith Pilot's watch. It's a great looking watch. But let me ask you something. What the fuck is that? What does that look like? Why? Why? Why Zenith? Why? Oh God, that's ugly too. They've uglied up their watches. They've homaged everything. Like I feel like their whole line is a homage now. Am I wrong? I mean, literally, I sold my Skyline. I was just so tired of it. I actually sold my Zenith. But they all, I mean, they just look like homages to other stuff. Zenith makes, the El Primero, they make cool stuff. I mean, like these revival shadows are different. I'll give them that. But what are these Chronomaster Sports? I mean, what is that supposed to? I mean, look at this. Like, seriously, what is that supposed to look like? Like it's like they're just trying to make things that look like other things for some reason. Like they're homaging everything they're doing. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I like my $800 Hamilton Field khaki more than that Zenith Field watch. Yeah. That's at least Hamilton, they listen to people. Like they came out with, they people say, oh, we missed this, and they'll bring it back, or hey, make the movie watch, and they'll make the Murph and Interstellar. What can I think of the name of that movie? But yeah, I would much rather on a Hamilton. I wish that they made the Murph 43 or whatever it is on the bracelet, like they just did the 38. I would probably buy one of those. That's a good looking watch. In fact, we don't give Hamilton nearly enough love on these channels. Hold on. Get out of that. Hamilton makes they make some weird shit too, but and they try. Let me eat the cookies. Cheese, United States. Share that tab. I'm not super crazy about the watch that's on the screen, the Jazzmaster Performer, but I do like a lot of things in the khaki line. There's a couple Pilots watches I really like too. Let's go over the Pilots watch. They make a mechanical. Well, this is it. This is the bronze version. They make this in steel as well. But it's a very nice looking watch. Exhibition case back, manual wind, pilot's crown. Like I said, you can get it in bronze or stainless. That's a fine looking watch, and that's $1,500. That's like getting to the high end of what Hamilton normally does. When you get into these khaki field watches, it's a lot of watch for the money. Khaki field. But they're doing this Murph now, which I always thought was a good looking watch. But it's only the 38 millimeter that you can get on the bracelet. Look at that watch. The automatic field watch on a bracelet for $945. Seems like a lot of watch for that money. You get some variation of an ETA movement in it because it's the it's the Swatch group. I can't do cathedral hands. Dun, 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 dun. They're not my favorite, but I don't mind them on a pilot's watch. I prefer Flieger hands, but hey, you can't have everything, as George Carlin said. Where would you put it? But like the field line in general is just a good line of watches. Where is make a lot of them? They do make a lot of them. But here, this freaking classic field watch, $695, khaki automatic, 42 millimeter or 38. You can get it either way. That's a solid piece for that money. It's hard to beat the value in that. Like people go crazy for like the PRXs and stuff like that in that price range. But here, $795 on the bracelet. You know, 100 meters worth of water resistance, open case back, sapphire crystal, 80-hour power reserve. So it's Powermatic 80, I'm sure, in there. It's not super fine high horology or anything. They're saying it's the H10. But it features the Nivacron balance spring. So you get some anti-magnetic properties. I mean, it's just a great watch for the money. And there's a reason people like YouTubers go crazy for the thing. Logan Hall. Oh, he just bought the Murph. Cool. Did he get the 38 or the bigger one? Did he get it on the bracelet or the strap? If you like the movie Interstellar, then you'll enjoy seeing the Murph. Murph's and it's a good looking piece. It's just a good looking watch. Here are artifacts in the chat. One of my two favorite artifacts. He says, "Love the Murph 38. If someone were just getting into watches, that would be the watch I would recommend. You get a lot for the money. You do get a lot for the money. We don't talk about. I don't think we get caught up in the high end stuff, and I don't think we give like Seiko, Hamilton enough credit. Certina is another brand I like. Do some nice stuff. Mito does some nice stuff. This is my preferred variant of the khaki line, and on the wrist it looks superb. Yeah, so this one I was showing here. I love the look of this watch. It's just great. The dial has that little bit of a slope. It's not really a pipe hand, but it has that kind of a slope that you get on a pipe hand dial. Yeah, it's a good number variant. The little tip of just that tiny little tip of red on the second hand works. Those kind of filigree syringe hands. It's just a good looking watch. Like I said, for $700-800. Trouble says I'm saying nothing. I'm wearing it. I love Tissot as well. I have no problems with Tissot. That's another one with a huge catalog of watches. They make a lot of different watches. But I mean, the PRX is great. The Gentleman, the Tissot Gentleman is a beautiful watch. The Silicium. And then they do some fun stuff, like the what was that thing called they did? I can't remember, with the yacht timer and stuff on the Citadel or whatever. It's a great watch. It's a cool looking watch. It's fun, I see them do fun stuff. But there's a lot of cool things. But I know a lot of people that have great watch collections that have a Hamilton khaki field in their collection. Normally on the leather strap. It's just kind of the standard way of, and it looks good on that leather strap. You know what I mean? Like it's just a good looking watch. Um, it's a solid piece of kit, as the kids would say. But look at that dial. Yeah, close up of the dial. It's just good looking. It's got 3 sets of numbers. It has different textures. It's got, I mean, that's a lot going on that thing. For $700, I think. I got the Murph 38, but next year I'm gifting it to my daughter as we watched it together. I'm getting a Cooper 42 millimeter for myself. There you go. Very cool. But they listened. So people said, we want the Murph. So they built it and they made it just the way it was in the movie. And then people were like, we would like a smaller Murph. And they're like, all right, we'll do that. But this is my favorite khaki field right here. I agree with John D. It's just classic. It's just a classic looking watch. It's a great field watch. But the Murph itself, where is the Murph? Let's just do the big. There it is. That's the original Murph. That was the 42 millimeter. But again, just a classic looking watch and something that they listen to their audience. So Hamilton gets, I don't know who at Hamilton is in with the Hollywood people, but they're in all the they seem to be in all the movies. You see a lot of Hamiltons in movies, but but they listen to the audience. They listen to their people. He said, Logan Hall's Grill Streams. I owned a khaki field about 7 or 8 years ago. Excellent watch for what it is. Yeah, it's just a great one. There's nothing wrong with the Hamilton khaki field. We were talking about Zinn a week or two ago, as far as like tool watches. Well, a Hamilton khaki field is a tool watch, It's not necessary. I mean, it's a Powermatic 80 basically in there. So it's a modular, it's not a lifetime watch or anything like that. It's not, it's $700, That's the biggest deal with Hamilton. They listened to their buyers. Everyone wanted a smaller Murph and they gave it to them. Smart. Yeah. Everyone wanted the Murph. If you remember, everyone was like, why don't you make that watch from Interstellar? So they did, and they made it to the movie specs. And then a bunch of people were like, hey, we'd like it if it was a little bit smaller. Could you make us a smaller one? They're like, okay, we could do that. I mean, there's something to be said for that. BW is wearing a Zinn 856 today. Even more no nonsense than the Hamilton. The Zinn 856 is a great watch. It's one of my favorites. What do we got going on here? Oh, God. English. Jeez, oh, Pete. Let's share this tab. We got all the ads out of the way. There's a Zinn 856 on the Zinn website. Very no nonsense watch. Good loom. 2230, but I mean a lot more expensive. A better watch, a lot more expensive watch. But tegimented steel. AR dehumidifying technology. So you're not getting any glass. Magnetic field protection. Nickel-free case back. Sapphire glass. The 856 is give the dimensions. There we go. Is a 40 millimeter watch, which I like a little better. 20 millimeters between the lugs and only 11 thick, around 70 grams. It's light. It's cool. Not crazy about the 4 o'clock date. I wish they just skipped the date. But a cool watch, BW. A cool watch. George Faries is here. Good morning, George. Please, everyone, ixnay on the IWC. We didn't talk about IWC today. Love the floating hands on that Zen. Whenever a watch has that design feature, I'm drawn to it, says Dear Artifact. Zen does indeed make some very robust, cool watches. It's just, you have to buy it from Watch Buys here, which is a little bit of a bummer. But speaking of field watches, so we got like 15 people watching now. All right, so I started the show showing this pilot's watch, which has kind of a field watch that I never knew existed before. Let's see what's the best picture of this thing. Now let's go with this one so you can see the dial. This is a Zodiac Jet-O-Matic, no longer in the catalog. But it caught my eye. I saw it. I saw it in the background or something. I mean, what the heck is that watch? And I had to do a little bit of investigating and find out that it's no longer in the catalog. But Zodiac used to have a pilot's watch that was, boom, looked like that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. I would imagine you pick those up under $1,000. I think $14.95 was the original retail on that thing. There doesn't seem to be a lot of them out there, but for that kind of money, it was a heck of a kit. It did have the blued one neck regulator. You can see over here on the right. So they make a 40 millimeter COSC certified version, or they make a 42 millimeter with this blue wand neck the regulator, which is kind of cool. Exhibition case back, so you can actually see your blue swan neck. Boom. All the things that I love in a watch. It does have a pilot's crown. It is a signed Zodiac pilot's crown. Look at the way that crown's digging it. See, that's what that 45 millimeter was doing to me. Right there. That's actually a good picture. That's what that damn watch did to the back of my hand. But a cool watch. Cool watch. Never knew it existed. I don't really like the name. I don't like that script Jet-O-Matic on the dial. It's so, but not bad looking piece for what it is. Never knew that there ever was such a thing. I'm sure Dear Artifact does. He knows all the watches. I don't even think I ever saw one of these on the ID guy. I am, since I got hands on with a few Zodiacs, I am actually a big fan. I really like their watches. I think they do some really interesting, nice stuff. Their bracelet, their 5-link bracelet bracelet on the Seawolf Super Seawolf compression is really cool. Works really well. Has that little comfort thing on it. Got 18 upvotes. Cool. Thanks, guys. It's very Zodiac. You couldn't mistake it for another brand. No, yeah. It's kind of cool. I am a fan. I wasn't aware of this model, Mark, but I like it, says Dear Artifact. My favorite Zodiac is the Super Seawolf of the Zodiac Killer that the Zodiac Killer supposedly wore. And for those of you who don't know, the Zodiac Killer signed his notes with the Zodiac emblem, basically, which is kind of an interesting thing. But Zodiac in general, cool watches for the money. I mean, you get a lot of watch for the money. Again, my buddies over at Who's a Majigger, Joyce's have Zodiac. They are an authorized Zodiac dealer. There's a couple Zodiacs that I really like. So, first one is this Seacron, $29.95. 200 meters water resistant chronometer. Just a cool watch. This is a neat chronograph. Just cool looking. Looks good on the wrist. Also a big fan of so there's the Super Seawolf Pro Diver that is a very nice watch. 42 millimeter. It's actually kind of a cool piece. I like the case design. I like their bracelets. Hey, it comes with a box even. What's that one? $21.95. That's not a bad price for that watch. They have the greenish, this, not the red bar one, but the greenish one like this one in the store. It's nice. But they make, I don't see it. Man, maybe it's off catalog now. There's a black dial diver. Let's try this. Basically, it's this watch, but with a black bezel and a black dial. Got a little bit of the triangle around the pip is orange. It has some orange script on it. It's really nice looking as well. It has different hands. It has better hands, not just the blocks. Let's try these. No, that's not it. How about Skin Diver? Maybe it's a Skin Diver. Nope. Oh, these are cool. We like those. We were looking at the Oris and the Yama. $15.95. I love the loom on this. Boom. Zodiac Killer. The 5-link bracelet is really nice on those BW. I really like it. It's got this like comfort setting. So it's a butterfly clasp, but it's a butterfly clasp like on the Aquaterra, but it has, like, when you pull on it, it has stretch to it on either side of the clasp. So, like, if you heat up, it'll actually automatically adjust for your wrist, which I thought was kind of cool. John D says historical Zodiacs are cool. SeaWorld arrived in 53 along with the sub and 50 fathoms. But over the last 3 to 4 decades, they had management fiscal issues and are a mess. Yeah, they're owned by Fossil now, but they were a mess. The artifact says, that's my favorite one, Mark. It's the one that's most like the Zodiac Killers. I believe his style was white, though. Yeah. I didn't see a, yeah, blue, green, or black now. No white. But yeah, it was that was a cool part of that movie. Yeah, I don't know where that black one. Oh, I know where I can find a picture of it. I took one, for God's sakes. It's a little smudgy and messy, but that was the black one I was talking about. It was a really, really, really nice watch for like $15.95. But one of the things I loved about it, I'm not a 3 o'clock date guy per se, but I love the way that they frame this date to look like the indice on the other side. That was pretty slick. That 5-link bracelet, I think, is actually was more comfortable than the Tudor 5-link bracelet. And it doesn't have that big polished center link. Trouble says Zodiac is my least favorite of all the killers. Who's your favorite killer? The Jubilee was really comfortable, and like I said, it has this expansion thing where it will automatically expand. You don't have to do anything. It just kind of, it's, almost like spring loaded or something. That'll kind of give you a little bit of extra room there, so you can it automatically adjusts your wrist as it heats up during the day, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. We got still got 15 people watching. My Lord, there must be some bored people in the world if they're watching this show. But that being said, what is going on? What else is going on? But yeah, so that was the Super Seawolf in black. Much more. I was really impressed. I'm playing around with a couple of those because I'd never really experienced them. This lapis blue one, it's hard to get a good picture of it, but that lapis style on that was really nice as well. Like I said, that 5-link bracelet, super comfy, good looking. Nice job. I was BW is a Son of Sam guy. He likes the talking dogs. Any Dahmer people out there? Any cannibals? Any BTK killers? I don't know. Who do we like? Who's our favorite serial killer of the day? What's the flavor of the day? Trouble said Zodiac is his least favorite serial killer of all time. You can see the block hands on this lapis one. That's why I like the. That was one of the things that attracted me to the black one. Was the different handset. Just something a little bit more interesting. A little bit more interesting. But Zodiac and Brain, I never really even thought that much of in the past. It's amazing when you get hands on with something that you get an appreciation for it. I'm not running out to buy a Zodiac, but it's actually a really nice watch. That's another one. If you got somebody who wants to spend $2,000 on a watch, you have a look at a Zodiac or an Oris as well. Whole Milk says you have to go with John Wayne Gacy on the Mount Rushmore of killers. Yeah, he's got to be up there. I think he's up there. Killers by Iron Maiden is my favorite. That's a great song. Great album, great song. One of my favorite Iron Maiden songs. Non Bruce Dickinson. But great song. Great metal song. Lots of screaming and yelling and guitars. Love the beginning, the intro to that song. It's not a bad song. This is the other one that really intrigued me. This is a beautiful watch. It's a terrible picture, beautiful watch. This Raymond Weil Freelancer GMT. They had a used one in the case. It's a little smudged up and dusty, I'm sure, in that picture, but really cool looking watch. The watch that comes up in my Instagram feeds a lot. They make that one, and they make a green and a black version of that are like world timer bezels, but internal rotating bezel for the GM. Bruce G says Lucha deserves a Zen U1. I don't know if the U1 is my Zen. It's the hands. Not crazy. I like the watch. I'm not crazy about the hands. Let's see. Boom. There is your kind of traditional Zen U1. Block hands, that little thing on them. And actually, the hands I can do, it's the second hand. I block on the second hand that bothers me. I don't know why. Aesthetically. Watches. Now the hands on the U2 I like. I do have a favorite Zen. I mean, the 104s are classic looking. The 105, meh. A lot of people like these 140s, 144s, and such, but there is I'm going to flip through here real quick. I didn't even know they made dress watches. Jeez, oh Pete. Here we go. The 356 Pilots Classic. That's probably my favorite Zen right there. Delivery time within Germany, 5 to 7 days. You have to go through watch buys to get one in the U.S. Where's the specs on this? The product page doesn't have any specs. Interesting. Let me try scrolling down. Bead blasted stainless steel case. Shockproof acrylic or sapphire glass. Optional. Dimensions and weight. There it is. 38.5, 20, 15.6 thick, 71 grams. What a beautiful watch. A little small for the Lucha, but a beautiful watch. Oh my God, was I not showing it? God damn it. Sorry, guys. And I'm taking the Lord's name in vain. You know what that means? I gotta dunk my watch in holy water again. So sorry about that. That's the 356 Pilot Classics AS. Just like the look and the layout. Simone Well. John D says it's pronounced Raymond Vile. So there you go. That's how little people talk about it. I didn't even know. But that's the Zin 356. But now I need to go do this again. For those of you who weren't here at the beginning, if you weren't here on Sunday or at the beginning, Buckley says the creamsicle is cursed and I should sell it. I suggested having it blessed. Doc Mick in Florida, we talked about holy water. I said maybe I can put a little drop on it. Doc Mick in Florida said no, I need to dunk the watch in the holy water font. So went to church about 15 minutes early so that I wouldn't get caught doing that. But here's what happened: the watch got dunked in the holy water, submerged. She brought a couple paper towels to dry it off. So probably going to hell. Everybody who stuck their finger in that holy water font on their way in or out of mass on Sunday received some of the curse of my watch, as Buckley would say. Travel says not this bloody curse bollocks again. Hey, I tried to remove it. Who would have thought that the holy water wouldn't work? I mean, I think it's shinier. It can help the shine and sheen of the watch. What do you think? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But what are you gonna do? I think that's actually, however, I have to say, it's taking that extra link out and using the on the fly micro adjust more is a little more enjoyable of a wearing experience because there's no flop on it. It's a heavy watch. It's a big, thick, heavy watch. Travel says you can't remove what doesn't exist. Right? But Buckley said it's cursed. What do you want me to do? We did start off the day with the avocado toast with the poached egg. Actually poached the egg today. Not the world's best egg poacher, but that one actually came out pretty good. Just not my favorite way of cooking an egg. If I'm at a restaurant, I'll get a poached egg. Let somebody else do that shit. It's hard. Poaching eggs is hard. I will not do it live on the stream and get mocked like Moses the jeweler did. But what else is going on? People. The link is pinned at the top if somebody wants to join. I wish somebody would so I can run to the bathroom real quick. You know? It's hard to do these streams. 2 hours and 40 minutes in, I gotta go to the bathroom. I might have to play some kind of video or something for you for a couple minutes, if that would be acceptable to the audience. I don't know. Where are we at on our upvotes? 20 upvotes. Cool. We get long enough, at least get to 30 again. That would be neat. Any thoughts on the avocado toast? Any fans? Hatred? Love? Hate? What do you got? Hold on 1 second. Got a message. Julio and the gang. I don't know. What do you guys think? Any thoughts? Avocado toast tastes delicious. Oh, everything bagel seasoning on it. Poached egg, bacon. No cherry tomatoes. I got to get some cherry tomatoes. I forgot to grab those last night when I was. There's a couple things. I went and did a bunch of shopping, and came home. I was like, damn it, I forgot this, forgot that. Cherry tomatoes were one of those things. I get the strawberry field ones on the vine. Those are my favorites. Couple says I can take or leave avocado. No, I get it. The problem is that it gets hard trying to come up with new and creative breakfasts to show you guys. I hate to show the same stuff all the time. We did go through a French omelet phase, which were delicious. French omelet's hard to make. It's harder than poaching an egg, but it was good. You cut into that. I overcooked it a hair, so it wasn't as runny. Which actually on the avocado toast wasn't necessarily a bad thing. So a little more hardened yolk with the toast. I am not a perfect cook. I am more of a presenter. It's plating, guys. It's all about the plating. The soup was delicious. The grilled cheese, exquisite. The chicken and rice soup. And basically, you just buy a chicken, throw it in a pot with a bunch of cold water, some celery, carrots, onions. You just chop just chop them up. I put 3 cloves in when I do mine. Boil that down. Makes a great broth. Strain it. You strain it out for the broth. Put the broth back in the pot. Shred up that chicken into the soup. Take off the skin. Shred up the chicken, and add some carrots and celery, and away you go. And rice. A delicious lunch. I will be having chicken soup for my next 3 or 4 lunches because I cooked a whole chicken down to make my own broth. So, look at the melt on that cheese. I believe that was Havarti, cheddar, and parm I used on that. Perfectly grilled. Threw some bacon in the middle of it. And away you go. Delicious. All right, so nobody wants to join this shit show, do they? I'm dropping the link. We got a couple minutes and I have to run to the bathroom. So if nobody jumps on, I'm going to play a video for a couple minutes. I apologize, but hey, that's just the way it goes. I don't make the rule. Oh, wait, I do make the rules. That's right. I am mistaken on that. What would you guys like to watch a video about? We can do the watch on wrist thing about the who's a jigger again. The new tag Chrono Sprint, if that's acceptable. BW says serial killer video. Wonder if they have a top 10 serial killer video. Whoops. 10 worst American serial killers. We could always do that. I don't know, Watch Mojo, if they would copyright strike us or not. All right, serial killers it will be then. Let's. All right, I have to run to the bathroom real quick, guys. I do apologize, but enjoy your serial killers. I'll be right back. Wow, I wasn't even showing the video. I'm a terrible host. I really had to go to the bathroom. What are you gonna do? It happens. Unlucky charms for the serial killers. Sorry about that. Little delay. What are you gonna do? My apologies. I got an email coming in. Weirdness. Sorry about that. Just weirdness. Still farting around with the unemployment people. Rat bastards. Boom. So, what were we talking about? We were talking about food and watches. We talked about some Zen watches. We talked about some Zodiac, some Oris, some IWCs. We've talked about a bunch of watches. Anything else? Anything anyone's considering that they'd like to get some opinions on? We talked about Grand Seikos, Oris, Hamiltons. Geez, we were all over the place. Another watch that popped up in my thing again. Hold on. Yeah, we're fine. There it is. Boom. Share that. This Notice Duality 2 Chasm Black. Nice looking watch. Excuse me. A retro compressor style diver look. Internal rotating bezel, 2 crowns. Did a nice job of that watch. Notices that we were talking about American brands. They're out of Los Angeles. Watch like $800. Not too bad for that kind of money. Still sitting at 20 upvotes. Appreciate that. So we were talking about cereals. Anybody have a favorite cereal? Are you a sweet or a savory person? Are you a hot or a cold person? I'm much more of a savory guy. I don't know if that's just from being diabetic or if I kind of tend, yeah, I don't know if it's because because of the sugar, but I'm just always sort of like, you know, the more grainy kind of cereals. Dirk Diggler is a Lucky Charms guy. Very nice. They are magically delicious. OC, he says Frosted Flakes, Raisin Bran, or Fruit Loops. I do, if I'm going, I do like some Raisin Bran. And I kind of like those brandy cereals, great, stuff with a lot of grains, or like the Special K's, stuff like that. Chex cereal, especially Rice Chex was probably my favorite. But if my brothers were huge Fruit Loops guys, so I would steal some Fruit Loops here and there. and they were always tasty. My roommates in college were big Captain Crunch, the Crunch Berries, and the Peanut Butter Crunch. They were big into those. Always had the family size boxes of those in the cabinets. Frosted Flakes, I don't know if I have a ton of experience with them other than the Tony the Tiger commercials. But Raisin Bran's a solid cereal that I've always liked. Anybody else? People that like cereal. Also, I love oatmeal. Like steel cut oats or stuff like that is always good. Different way to start your day. But vote 21. Nice. BW says I could eat the Cheerios, but only if there was nothing else. Yeah, Cheerios. There's the big heart healthy myth thing. Yeah, oh, they're heart healthy. There's no cholesterol. I hope there's not a lot of meat in your Cheerios. I think that would be a good thing. Not a lot of fat. But and now that when I'm in the cereal aisle, it's very confusing because the Cheerios seem to make like their own version of every other like chocolate Cheerios, Applejack cereal, Apple Jacks. That was the other one that my brothers liked. It was the Fruit Loops or the Apple Jacks, and I like the Apple Jacks actually better than the Fruit Loops. But back in the day when I was a young Dirk, I used to kill a whole box in one sitting. Now I would have a diabetic coma if I did that. Yeah, Lucky Charms are sweet. The marshmallows are sweet. I don't. They're weird marshmallows. I remember trying them, and it was like this chalky, gritty feeling in my mouth that I wasn't crazy about. But I would have. But I was eating it dry. Just was eating one dry. Oh, oh. This could start a war with one of our chat members. What type of milk do you prefer? Whole, 2%, 1%, or non-fat? Ooh. Johnny O likes the Apple Jacks. Oh, Super Sugar Smacks. I haven't heard it. I remember the commercials for those. I don't think I ever really ate those, but I remember the commercials. Kellogg's Corn Pops and Quisp. There's a few oldies in there. Yes, in your cereal, what type of milk? Now, I will tell you, my mother is a whole milk person. She's a whole milk person. JT Harry says whole is the only real milk. Oh, see, yeah, we forgot about the corn pops. I forgot about the corn pops. They still make those? I don't go into the like I normally I just go over to the oatmeal because most of the cereal is so sugary and bad for me that I don't indulge very often. But I remember corn pops from back in the day. My mother's a whole milk person. I was always more of a 2% person. I don't know why. I really don't know why. And now when I have whole milk, it's like creamier, thicker. But I'm so used to the 2% that I don't know that I dig it as much. That's right. I said dig it. I did. I did. Guys, is JT Harry the only person with a milk preference? Whole milk doesn't have a milk preference? He must not be watching anymore. He must have flown the coop. Guys, we are indeed at 21 upvotes. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. Do appreciate it. So, let's see what else is going on here. Bueller's. Dirk Diggler said, oh, sugar corn pops, but change it for obvious reasons. Yes. Dirk Diggler, that's not milk. That's juice. They're lying to you. So, I mean, milk requires a teat. If you're just grinding up a bunch of almonds and seeing what you can get out of it in a liquid, that's juice. Trolls prefer soy milk. Sorry. It's true. Trolls do like their soy milk. Anybody else? Milk preferences, cereal preferences. Before we move on. Let's see here. All right, let's head over to our good friends at Nashville Watch, see if they have anything interesting for sale. Any newcomers for sale? Well, you got a 41 millimeter Submariner Sherman, Black Bay GMT. Looks like a good price. Black Bay 41. OP 41 in green. 91.50. That was it's under $7,000 new. I guess the green, those color ones are still bringing some money. I imagine the celebrations are really still bringing some money, I would guess. You got some root beers. You got a full rose gold root beer for $37,250. Sky Dwellers with a blue Sky Dweller 24 at $24,250. Wow. No date sub 2024 unworn for $12,500. That's a let's see. It was what around $10,000, I think. New. Shut that dog up. Yeah, well, at least it's better than the road construction, guys. It's not my dog. It's the neighbor's dog. That's Marley. They put her on a leash outside. I always tell them, I'm like, just they're real nice people. I'm always like, just let her in the yard. I don't care. My yard's all fenced in. I'm like, let her run around a little bit. They never take me up on it, but the offer still stands. My yard was fenced in because of all the dogs that I had, and now there's less. 12,500 for that sub. I don't know what kind of deal that is realistically. Like full box papers, November 24 card. But they normally have pretty good prices here. On the Nashvilles. So as the 39 millimeter Explorer, I think he sold the 40. I think I saw that the other day. He has a celebration dial for 13.5 in the 36 millimeters. And he's got a 2025 unworn Tiffany blue dial for 13,650 in a 36. A couple Measures. Big Pilot Le Petit Prince still. He's got them white Speedy for 8,100, 2025. think that's under retail, isn't it? All 3 cards dated January 2025. Nice. That had plastic on it still? There's still plastic on that watch? Yeah. Damn. On the bracelet. Boxes, booklets, warranty cards, all the stuff. That seems like a deal. Very popular watch. That new Speedy bracelet is really nice. It's a manual wind. Coaxial, I believe in that sucker. Yeah, it's got the Meta certified card. The pictogram card and the international warranty card. Very cool. That doesn't seem like a bad deal. That's a very popular watch. It's actually a good looking watch. Summer blue, bunch of Tudors. Don't tell OC he's got Tudors in stock. It's an old Smiley Edda version. Wow. That's a Smiley one. You don't see that very often. Where is that? December of 19. Oldie but a goodie. I'm pretty sure he sold. Why it's not a thing anymore. So sold the Air King, sold the old Sermit, sold the Explorer 40. He was asking just a little over $9,000 for an Explorer 40. That was a good deal, I thought. Sold the Titanium Yachty. See if there's anything else there he recently sold that we looked at. Yeah, not really. One of the Daytonas. Daytoners. People love them. Got the Sprites. Batgirl. Pepsi's. Anything you could want. I got the black and gray, the Bruce Wayne. This was a pretty good colorway on this watch. The black with the gray. What I really liked about it was that just that little spot of green on the GMT hand and on the GMT Master 2. Just set it off, made it a little bit different at least. Look for things that are different. Because so many of those watches, it's just the same dial. Regardless, it's the same dial. Hey, look, a Zenith. Oops. No, not really. It's a Patek. 68.5 for a 2011 Aquanaut travel time. Damn. A lot of money. For a Vista watch. Derek, do you have a favorite version of American Trilogy? 70, 72. Uh, so we got 3 hours in. We seem to be winding down a little bit in the chat. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, let me know. Otherwise, we'll start getting ready to wrap this bad boy up. Bueller. Bueller, 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 Bueller. What is the better meal? The avocado toast or the soup and the homemade chicken rice soup and grilled cheese? Ah, the melt of that cheese was amazing. That was an amazing grilled cheese. Love grilled cheese. I might have to do that again today for lunch. Cook the bacon before you put it in the sandwich. Pro tip. All right, so we'll go another 7 minutes. If nobody else has got anything. Johnny O says American Trilogy from Hawaii 73 is a good version. Cool. Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. Is anything going on with the Colony? I haven't seen a Colony stream in a while. Elvis talk. Yeah, I haven't seen. Let's see. It's been a week or so, I guess, since I've seen anything happening on the Colony. That was the unboxing stream, right? I caught that on the replay. And haven't seen very much happening over there. But yeah, so soup. We'll definitely be having some chicken soup for lunch. Oh, the better Elvis cover, My Way or Bridge Over Troubled Water. See, that's where, some of these debates, keep some of this stuff in mind when we need you guys to subscribe to. I dropped a link for it. Hold on. Because we will do some music and movie stuff where we can play some clips of this stuff on the Cool Table with Lucha Medic. Cool Table with Lucha. So I'm going to drop the link to this in the chat. You guys should subscribe to this channel. This is the old Jeep of Pittsburgh channel, which I tore down and thought we could do something where some non-monetized content with some clips of songs and movies and stuff. Over there, John D says My Way is the only S&G song that can't be covered by anyone. Huh. It's hard because Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel is pretty good. It is pretty good. Johnny O would lean to My Way as the Elvis cover. Yes. So the Cool Table with Lucha is a channel where we'll do a stream one of these days. We may do the wrestling stream over there, maybe some music, some movie clips. Not playing a whole bunch of stuff, but if we're having a debate about some of that stuff, we don't have to worry about having to shut down or demonetized or any of that stuff. So that might be a way to go for that type of thing. If you would be so good as to subscribe there. We're at 23 upvotes. Thanks, guys. Do appreciate it. But yeah, we get some live, we get some actual content over there with the music clips and stuff, like we were talking about Iron Maiden killers and stuff earlier. If you play that on the air, they get all mad at the YouTube. You can play that stuff in a short, but if you play it on a live stream, they really get mad. They get angry. They demonetize you. They say, no, Lucha, no. Is that any way to treat your favorite Lucha medic? Let's see. Anything new in the world? I don't see much new happening. Not much at all. Guys. What's going on? So we're coming up on 3 hours and 15 minutes. If there's nothing else, I guess we will end the stream and enjoy your day. Enjoy our days. I've got stuff to do. I've got texts coming in, hot and heavy. Interesting. Not really. Weirdness. What are you going to do? OC reminding everyone to have a great day. Guys. If you haven't hit the upvote, please do that on the way out. I think we're still at 23. Is that what it is? Not bad for a early morning Tuesday stream. Hope you guys enjoyed the little bit of watch content, the food content. Check out the Instagram again, _Luchabedic_Mark on Instagram. Follow the food journey. There'll be something new on there tomorrow because I got to make the salsa sauce for it this evening. That's why I got the tomatillas. Because if you're going to make a proper green sauce, you should probably use some tomatillas. Cook those suckers down. Peel them up, cook them down, let it go. Probably roast the tomatillas in the oven. And then mix it up into with the rest of the stuff to make the sauce, and give it a couple quick shots with the immersion blender, which if you don't have an immersion blender, get one. It's the best invention ever. If you don't have one of these things, I can't stress enough. Hold on. Let's just pull one up here. There's an all clad. You can see what the fuck I'm talking about if you don't know. That is an immersion blender. You see what they're doing here? Boom. Stick that thing in. Boom. It's especially for something where you want some chunks left in it. These things are great. These things are great. This one even has a turbo mode on it. Look at that. The regular on and turbo. I don't think I have a turbo mode on mine. I think I just have mode. But get an immersion blender. That's my advice. Other than that, I will see you guys later in the week. I got some job news we'll go over next time. And we'll chat about that and what's going on. And we'll go from there.